Alright, hey y'all, I'm back with another review slash recap of Churchy. This episode was called The Funeral. Um, it was good. The funeral was hilarious, but yeah, we'll get into that. It opens up with a testimony service. There's a lady just making up scriptures, just saying outrageous stuff. She even goes so far as to say like she been changed. She used to be licking balls and all kind of nonsense. So, you can't give everybody the mic. So they had to switch it up and be like, hey, does anybody have a song? We not just, opening the floor for everybody. Um, so then next you see Corey in the office with Pastor Stinny, and he's kind of nervous, wondering what he in the office for. And Pastor Stinny just gives him a good review, and he's like, you know what, I trust you. I'm gonna let you, watch the church for real while I go on vacation. So Pastor Stinny is going down to San Antonio, which if you in Texas, that's one of our little relaxation places, one of our landmarks. He says he's going to get a hotel over on the Riverwalk, and he's going to be gone for a week. So Corey's like, dang, you just came back from vacation, but okay. So he's like, yeah, you gonna take care of the church? You even gonna do Sunday service or whatever? So Corey's excited about that, and Corey even make a little joke like, man, I want to be like you when I grow up. I have San Antonio on my bucket list. Right after that is the Maldives and Bora Bora. That rich talk, Hey, San Antonio, a nice little destination. I don't know why Corey was hating. um, so of course Corey got to go live because this is just what he lived for. So he goes live and he's like, I had a media ministry set up and I'm going to go ahead and live stream the service. And in the midst of doing his live, he ignores Keisha's call. So, oh, matter of fact, sorry, I skipped ahead. Never mind. He's on the live. So, JoJo, that's the teenager from the previous episode. He walks in. Corey's like, hey, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. Your grandmother doesn't agree with it. He's like, hey, my grandma's all right. Uh, we have like a don't tell policy with the masturbation. So they just move on, and he's like, hey, invite some of your friends. And JoJo's like, hey, make sure you can really preach if you got me inviting people. So, he's inviting people, he's excited. So, excuse me. You see, they moved to LA. You see Keisha, she got a vibe. She looking good. She's doing like boss lady things. It's cool to see that side of her. And she actually gets a promotion, which is really cool. She's going to end up running her whole office. So that's when Keisha calls. So Keisha calls Corey, I assume, to tell him about the promotion. And he ignores her call twice. And it's a shame because he signs off of the live saying, it's God first, you guys talking to the live stream, and then everybody else, which would include Keisha and his family. So, that's not really cool. But, his mother said that the Carmen, they put their church first. So Keisha really need to keep an eye on that. Um, so we get to the Sunday service, and the media ministry is Rodney, his homeboy Rodney, my favorite, on the show with a phone. Some media ministry, but or whatever. So, the message is about doing the work and not just talking about it. Corey really trying. He getting on the floor. It's just a tough crowd. He cannot connect. And, like, he has, like, a bunch of people on the live stream, but it's really nobody in the congregation. It's probably like 15, 20 people, and it's a lot of older people. So he's trying to do, like, common nowadays sayings like stop capping and stuff, and he's just not connecting or whatever. He even like started singing Rihanna, you gotta work, 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 because the message was about like putting in the work. And yeah, he just couldn't land that connection. He does the altar call, nobody comes up. He's just having a really hard time of it. So it's so bad. Normally somebody will come up for the altar call or for prayer, and he just ended up saying, all right, bye. So uh, we get to the next scene after service, and of course, Corey aka, Kev, laid out belly out. Kev can't go without showing that belly, okay? He laid out eating ice cream. And Rodney come in, just like, you know, relax. Like, yes, you did bomb, but you killed it online. There was like 8,000 people on the live. The analytics were crazy. People actually liked that work, work, work line that Rodney was like, I ain't like it, but hey, you doing something. So again, we see a scene with Keisha, and she's having mimosas with her sister. Her sister makes a comment about the biscuit. It's like communion. The biscuits are the body of Christ, and the champagne, is like the wine or the blood, which was so sacrilegious but so funny. So the sister just was saying how she's so proud of her, and apparently the um raise and the promotion was for 350K with stock options and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, you can move to Calabasas with that kind of money. And Keisha's like, I'm not trying to move to Calabasas. I want to stay right here in LA with you. And so clearly, Keisha probably not gonna want to go to Lubbock, but we'll see more about that. So, we get into the office, and he's just talking to Rodney some more, and a member comes in saying how her love is dead in the bed. She said it just like that, just crying and stuff, and she's just saying how she needs Corey to do the funeral. She doesn't want to wait for Pastor Stinney because he always wants to get buried real fast. The guy wants to get buried within 3 days or whatever. So, he trying to talk her out of it, but Ronnie have to get them together and be like, hey, if you're going to be a pastor, you need to do this stuff. Like, so either call your dad and say you were right, or call Pastor Stinney and tell him you only can preach, you can't do the other work that you need to do as a pastor. Rodney just got them together like, hey, this ain't about you. This is about that person who lost their loved one. So he goes to the member's house, and he's, trying to console her. And the lady that's the secretary was there. She really helped because she, like, had some food prepared, and Corey just was not ready for what he was supposed to do. He even had the audacity to ask for a piece of the food that was prepared for the grieving member or whatever. So, they move back to the office, and it's just Corey in there, and a lady walks in, and she's just like, apparently she was the person who passed away lover, and she was like, he died on top of me, and they didn't even mention me in the program. And Corey said what I was thinking, like, what, the color purple? Because that famous scene, how'd he die? On top of me. A mess. So again, we see Keisha and her sister in LA, and pretty much her sister comes up with a plan like, you need to go to Lubbock and put it on him, because apparently Corey and Keisha have been fornicating. She's like, we trying to be good, but the sister's like, girl, don't let one of those country girls get your man. Like, you need to get out there. You cannot let him stay in Lubbock. So, we moved to the funeral. The person in the funeral, the deceased person couldn't fit in the casket, just all kind of stuff, because they threw the funeral together in 3 days, so they just had to get whatever casket they could. Then his homeboy comes up, which is played by Tahir, and he makes a scene. He's crying like, oh, not my dog. He owed me $20. He like boops his nose. He's like, boop. Are you dead for real? Come on, boop boop. That was just funny. Excuse me. So the lady earlier came in the office saying, you better get me on this program. But before she could cause a scene, a lady stands up, which turns out to be Drea. And then my girl Lex P, salute to Poor Minds. Poor Minds podcast had a nice cameo about him. They stand up like, oh, he loved me. Then, so Drea stand up, oh, he loved me. Then the lady who came into the office stood up and was like, "No, that's my man." Then Lex P stand up, "No, that's my man." And then the ultimate cameo, my boy Duran Bernard was like, "Oh, he didn't say he was my man, but he stood up and said something." But I was just so surprised to see him. Like three cameos from some of my favorite people. Like Duran Bernard, I freaking love his music. He got this song with Ari Lennox called "Stuck" that stays on repeat. Like if you don't know it, you need to listen to Duran Bernard Stuck. And he just a singer. He's so talented. So I was just so excited to see all those cameos. Like I rewound the funeral scene so many times. It just was hilarious, and just to see the unexpected cameos. Yeah, favorite episode so far. We only 3 episodes in, but I literally like was smiling and thinking back to the episode. I'm smiling. It was just a good, fun surprise. They played that very well. But yeah, back to the story though. So all these outbursts, I feel like Corey handled it pretty well. Oh, and so um, another thing, Kev's grandma, she played the person who passed away, mother, and she was like, "Hey, can you just pray for my son?" And mind you, Corey didn't even want to have a dead body in the church. She made him touch the body to pray for him. So that was just a fun touch. And again, just seeing one of his family members, I thought that was cool. Um, excuse me. So yeah, we end at the funeral. After the funeral, just Corey being like, "Oh my gosh, I did a terrible job," and Rodney pretty much agrees. But I honestly don't think he did that bad at the funeral. It was a whole lot of loops thrown in at him. He probably could have did better by asking his dad for help, because he started to text his dad for help and he just deleted it because he was just like, "I don't want to hear him saying a funeral on social media is different than a funeral in real life and stuff." But he probably could have used some tips from a more seasoned person. But even a seasoned pastor couldn't have dealt with all these people popping up like this. Um, but yeah, at the end, after the credits, there's always a scene, a more funny scene, like another edit scene. And I believe some of these clips are like what was a part of the promotion, but you always got to stay after the credits, just like a Marvel movie or something like that. Um, but yeah, that was Churchy, episode 3, The Funeral. Drop the church emoji in there if you watched it and you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching again. I really enjoyed the show. Can't wait till episode 4. All right, y'all take care. Thanks for watching.